Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In today's video, this is going to be a pick a card reading on your childhood and how it affects you now. So please remember this is a general reading, therefore it may not resonate with everyone. Take what messages resonate and leave behind the ones that don't. I do believe if you clicked on this video there is a message here for you. I do offer private readings, which is linked down below in the description box if you want to check that out. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. So you can pause the video if you would like to meditate on which pile you feel most drawn to. If you feel drawn to multiple groups, then feel free to tune into multiple readings. So I'm going to play some music now just to let you to meditate on the pile you feel most drawn to. When you've chosen, your individual timestamp is linked down below in the description box, so make sure you check that out. I'm going to start with group 1, and for the rest of you I will see you at the click of your timestamp. Hello group number 1 and welcome to your reading. So we're going to be finding out about your childhood and how it affects you now. So we're going to kind of channel some messages from your childhood experience. So I've already prepared one card and the rest of the messages we will be getting from my other decks. So the first card you have is Fear Free. So what I'm picking up, group number 1, is in your childhood, I do feel like, you were scared of something. So this could be something that was physically in your mind and it may not be actually real. It could have been something that, you literally have this shadow behind you that was kind of following you as a child. So there could be some kind of either supernatural or just like an imaginary friend. But I do feel like there was this fearful energy that you felt as a child, like a presence around you. But for others of you, it's like just being fearful of, what was happening in your family. Maybe there was times when you just felt a bit worried, and as a child you didn't want to feel like this. So a lot of you could have had a breakup in your parental care or a separation with your parents. So there could have been, this could be either like social care, or this could be, for some of you, like your parents broke up. There is this kind of energy of you just kind of moving on from this fear the older you got. So I do feel like from a young age you was living in fear, but I feel like the older you got, you started to live in like a fear-free moment, and you started to realize, that you are guarded, you are protected, and that is why we had the lion popping up. For some of you could be a fire sign, and you could be a Leo, or this could be a sun, moon or rising, or somewhere in your natal chart. So for group number 1, can we have some more messages on how their childhood has affected them? What happened in group number 1's childhood? What happened in group number 1's childhood? Okay, so we have the Princess of Autumn and we also have Prince of Autumn. Can we get a few more messages for group number 1? What happened in their childhood? What happened in group number 1's childhood? Okay, so we also have the Queen of Winter and the King of Spring. So your reading is so strong in terms of energies of people popping up here. So what I'm hearing is there was someone very strong, very significant in your life. And I'm also picking up that, spring, autumn, winter were certain months that you felt a bit more fearful, or something happened in these certain months of the year for you. So I do feel like I'm picking up Christmas was a time of either difficulty or a celebration for some of you. I feel like there was a lot of pressure for you to either be studying something, or because you was quite mischievous as a child. So I do feel like you also had a lot of responsibility that you had to kind of live up to. That's something that I'm really pulling upon in the Princess of Autumn. you know, we also have this energy of, you know, that you are protected, as I said. So I do feel this energy coming through where that you felt like you had to protect someone, is what I'm hearing. So I feel like your childhood, there was a lot of action involved, and I feel like there was also strong people in your life, as I said. I feel like you needed to be strong. I do feel like you had to be patient as well to get to where you need to be. So that's something I see in the Queen of the Winter, that in your past, in your childhood, you had to let go of people. There's certain people or things that you had to let go of because they were no longer serving you in a good way. And that very much does relate back to the fear card that we have. So can we get some more messages for group number 1? We have emotions. So the fact we have emotions come out for you is letting me know that as a child, some of you were very emotional, okay? You may have cried a lot, or you may have felt anger. Again, relating back to this fear card, I feel like for a lot of you, you know, you had big changes in your life as a child. Your childhood, you know, there was a lot of changes because we have the chameleon pop in here, which is just saying, you know, there was a lot of things you had to adapt to. So there was a sudden change, a sudden shift in your family life is what I'm hearing, and you had to really kind of change your direction and your thought process at a very young age. So the fact we have fear and emotions really is letting me know, group number 1, that for a lot of you tuning in, that you did deal with a lot of fearful emotions as a child. Please remember this is a general reading though, so these messages won't be for everyone, but this is just a current energy of someone I'm pulling upon who had this kind of childhood. So for group number 1, can we have more messages on what happened in their childhood? Okay, so we have dream. Can we get a clarifier on dream? So we have dream and be present. So we have a cup of tea in the garden and find yourself in a good book. Be present, use the hours, don't count them. So what I'm picking up is a child, you did dream a lot, okay? And I feel like you had dreams about a different life. I do feel like, again, because we have this studying energy where, you know, it was almost like, you know, you had to kind of get stuck in a book. A lot of you did read. You either read books or magazines as a child. And I do feel like this energy of you trying to be present in the moment, because, again, you had to adapt to situations. So you always had to make sure that, you know, you was there, basically, in the present moment of what was happening. Because there is this energy coming through where you lost time as a child, okay? The hours were kind of passing you by, and before you knew it, you was already grown up and taking on this responsibility as an adult. And it's kind of, this is how it's kind of affecting you now. So I feel like as a child, your thoughts were kind of reinforced with a strong emotion, whether this was desire or fear. So I'm picking up that, you know, you did have brothers or sisters around you. So again, you may have been the oldest, or maybe you was the youngest, but I do feel this energy of almost taking on the emotions and the burdens of other people around you. So you had to carry this fear because you had to be the responsible one, is what I'm hearing. So there was a lot of people around you at the time as a child. I'm hearing that a lot of people came in and out of your life. So group number 1, this was the reading I received for you on what your childhood was like and how it affects you now. Please let me know in the comments if any of it resonated with you. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I'm sending you all so much love and light. Hello group number 2, and welcome to your reading. So we're going to be finding out about what your childhood was like and how it's affecting you today. So I've already have one message prepared, and the rest we're going to channel from my decks. So the first card you have is you have habit. So group number 2, I feel like in your childhood that you did deal a lot with habits. So you could have had personal habits, or you watched the habits of other people. Perhaps other people's habits were very destructive to you as a child. I'm almost picking up this energy of like drink or some kind of habit that was kind of toxic in your life. So how this affects you now is this is something that, you know, you don't want in your life. So I feel like The fact we have the frog here, this is like your spirit guide letting you know that good luck is on your side, because as a child you've kind of grown up and moved on from this energy. So I do feel like new behaviors have become your new habit, ready to serve you without you making a conscious effort. So this is something you work hard on now, is, you know, you like to set yourself goals because of your childhood, as how it affected you was because bad habits that you experienced as a child is something you don't want your own child to feel, is what I'm hearing. So it's kind of letting go of the past, letting go of bad habits. I feel like, you know, in the past you got triggered by things as a child. I feel like these kind of habits were kind of responsive to similar triggers in your past, and this is serving you in a great purpose now because you know what you don't want in your life and who you don't want to be. So I'm hearing that there is someone in your life in your past as a child that you don't want to be like. So I'm hearing the words of like a repetitive behavior. Someone in your past, in your childhood, kept doing the same thing over and over. So for group number 2, what happened in their childhood? What happened in group number 2's childhood? Okay, so we have the 7 of autumn. We have the 5 of winter. We also have renewal. So can we get one more message? Group number 2's childhood. What happened in their childhood? Group number 2's childhood. And we also have the Prince of Spring. So group number 2, I'm picking up that there was like a judgment made on you as a kid, and that is because we had this habit card. So either you was judged or you were judging someone in your family. So we have this energy of renewal, which is basically saying, you know, you kind of moved on from this energy now. It's how it's affected you now. So this is just saying that you've reviewed the past and the present so you can plan this bright new future. So this is basically saying that you're understanding your life purpose. And as a child, this was something that you had to kind of really kind of look into. So I do feel like you've released judgments of yourself and others. I feel like someone walked away from you, okay? I feel this energy where someone walked away because there was a dishonesty in your childhood. So it was almost like realizing that what you thought that you had or that you wanted as a child, you've grown up now and realized that's not something you want. That's not something you want for your own family. I'm hearing that something that happened as a child was something that was not the best choice for your happiness, and this is something that's not worth the effort now. So you've definitely moved on from this energy. So I am picking up that, you know, there was this energy in your childhood where you had kind of to have a lot of patience with, and because you had a lot of worriness on your head is what I'm hearing. So I'm hearing that you had to take time to rest and you had to kind of plan your next steps. So this is something I see that you've had to invest a lot of time or energy into this. I feel like as a child maybe you didn't have much money, and that's something that you've worked towards now as an adult, is to kind of bring more money in. So there definitely was someone in your life that you looked up to, okay, in your past. And this person was someone who brought a lot of happiness to your life. I'm hearing this someone is someone in your family. So I do feel like they got you through challenging times. And I feel like this person is still in your life now. I feel like this person you have a very deep relationship with. So maybe you was like an adolescent child or something like that. I'm just picking up this energy where there was just habits involved and wake-up calls. So I do feel like, you know, your childhood has actually helped you grow up though. So even if you had a difficult childhood, this is something that you've kind of moved on from. So I definitely see that it was challenges you had to face. So for group number 2, what happened in their childhood? Group number 2's childhood, how is it affecting them now? What happened in group number 2's childhood? What happened in group number 2's childhood? Okay, so we have honesty, we have dare, and we have move. So first off, I'm seeing that honesty was a big part in your childhood. So I do feel like, again, because of these bad habits, someone was dishonest. Someone was dishonest about something they was doing behind your back. Again, I'm just picking up this bad habit, okay? This could be, you know, drink, it could be drugs, it could be some kind of toxic relationship, but there was some kind of bad habit. For some of you it was to do with someone in your family, and for others of you it's like you was the bad habit. You had to kind of grow up, is what I'm hearing, because you was this kind of adolescent. But I'm just very hearing that there was an honesty that was a factor in your childhood where there wasn't honesty in your family, okay? And people shut you out, people didn't tell you what was going on because they felt you were too young. And you know, you have to dare, which is take a risk and fly. So again, you know, these habits coming through, I feel like you was a very energetic child. I feel like, you know, you did do a lot of daring things, and there are some things you look back and you wish you didn't do, but it's all like the process of growing up. So you took a risk, and I feel like you're able to fly now because you've grown so much into your adult life. And that's because you've moved, okay? I feel like you moved home, you moved away. A rolling stone gathers no moss. So this is just saying that you've moved on from this energy, you've moved on from these bad habits. This was not a placement in your life that was going to stick around forever. I'm hearing that it was temporary, and there was a big move that you made. So group number 2, this was the reading I received for you. Let me know what resonated. I would love to know if any of this resonated with someone. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'm sending you so much love and light. Hello group number 3, and welcome to your reading. So we're going to find out about your childhood and how it affects you now. So I've already prepared one card, and the rest we will be channeling more messages. So the first card you have is you have the others. So one thing I pick up on is this energy is very much about being judged. I feel like as a child people judged you. I feel like you was isolated. I'm picking up some of you was like an only child. I'm picking up this bullying energy, okay? I feel like some of you as a child was bullied. So this could be in school, you know, it could be by your own family, but I'm picking up the kind of being bullied by children, or, you know, people around the same age. I feel like there was like a social label that was put on you. So it was either by a parent, a friend, a carer, a child. But the truth is that, you know, I do feel this energy coming through, that you were kind of programmed into believing that your past experiences and circumstances of your life was because you was different to other people. So I feel like this energy of like you was judged by other people's actions towards you, and you got really upset over your emotions because they was unfulfilled. There was an expectation of you, and there was this cause that caused you emotional suffering, is what I'm hearing. I feel like as a child you would sometimes think about being someone else. It was almost like you would think if you were born into another life and had a different experience and circumstance, then, you know, you would ask yourself if you would act the same way as these people around you. So I feel like moving on to adulthood, you've learnt from this situation, and you found out that, you know, you are normal, you're not abnormal. And even though you felt different as a child, and you had to kind of really work out who you are, I feel like you have an open heart and you've been able to resolve this. So know that the others around you have basically, I feel like there was an energy of jealousy around you as well, because, you know, you did stand out, and, you know, back then you didn't understand why. You thought you were different, and you thought you were kind of abnormal. Maybe you had certain gifts, certain talents, or you was just a very quiet kid, is what I'm hearing. So for group number 3, what happened in their childhood and how is it affecting them today? What happened in group number 3's childhood and how is it affecting them today? Group number 3, what happened in their childhood and how is it affecting them today? Okay, so we have release. We have the Prince of Summer, we have the Prince of Winter, and we also have the Four of Winter. So again, picking up this energy where you had to kind of, you know, move on from your childhood and who you was, because you didn't quite understand who you was at the time. It really makes sense. You have release come out, so you had to kind of let go of the old you. You had to kind of let go of the past. So there definitely was this ending that happened in your childhood that made way for new opportunities in your future. So it definitely was a time for you to move on. So I do feel like, you know, as a child, maybe you went to multiple schools, maybe you moved home a lot, but there was this energy of you kind of moved a lot. I feel like you had different friend circles, and this was something that you was always trying to find, like your soul tribe. So I feel like as a child, you know, you did kind of take a lot of opportunity to rest your mind. So I do feel like you kind of set aside your concerns. So I feel like you had a lot of decisions to make as a child, and you know, growing up, there was lots of solutions that came from meditation. So for some of you, I do feel like spirituality was something you got into at a young age. I'm hearing that a lot of you started to collect crystals. I'm also picking up the energy where, you know, you didn't really, you needed a lot of rest because you couldn't sleep. So something kept you up at the night, and it could be these bullies that were coming through, or it could be just experiences you had with family members or friends around you, but there was something keeping you up and you felt very concerned about this energy. So I do feel like, you know, you needed a bit more sleep. I feel like you was actually a really intelligent child. Okay, I'm picking up that energy. You was very driven, very focused and determined. So I do feel like from a young age you kind of knew what you wanted to aspire to be. So I feel like as a child it was this energy of trying to find a solution to your problem because you felt like, you know, you had the opportunity to fix things and, you know, to act quickly and decisively. But I want you to know, as an adult, this is almost like a sudden or unexpected changes in your life that you've had to kind of adapt to. So I do feel like, you know, you did have a lot of love in your life though. I do feel like someone did really love you or still loves you. Okay, there is this energy here of deep love, and almost like, you know, someone wanted to protect you. There was this protective energy around you where, you know, it was almost like they wanted to make your wishes come true. So you will know who this person is, but I feel like this person around was very a grounding point in your life. So you had to stay grounded through a very emotional experience. So as a child you did have a very emotional experience. So I am picking up, for some of you, there was like a loss in the family. So for group number 3, can we have some messages on what happened in their childhood? So we have mirror. So interesting enough, because you have others as well, this really is giving the energy that as a child you didn't like the way you looked. I'm hearing that you didn't like your appearance. I'm hearing that people picked on, you know, either your forehead, your hair, something to do with the physical features of your face, and that's maybe you stood out, but this energy coming through where you didn't like your appearance as a child. So I feel like as a child, you know, you did feel that someone was hurting you quite badly with their words or their actions. So definitely I'm picking up like this kind of bullying energy. So I definitely feel like you've grown into who you are and you feel so much more comfortable with who you are now, but as a child, this was something you struggled with a lot, was who you are and how you looked. So for group number 3, what happened in their childhood? What happened in group 3's childhood? Group number 3's childhood. Okay, so we have breathe and we have weed. So it's so interesting you have breathe, because we did speak about meditation, or that as a child you didn't get much sleep. It's this energy of you trying to relax because there was like a lot on your mind. So I do feel like this energy coming through where, you know, I feel like you meditate now, and I feel like this would have helped you as a child if you learned meditation from a young age. So I do feel like, you know, this says slow down and contemplate the tea, violets and ivy tangled around the eaves. So as a child you had moments where you couldn't breathe. Maybe some of you suffered from asthma or panic attacks. I'm just really picking up on that energy where this emotional experience triggered something for you. We also have don't tolerate less than you deserve. Now this is a strong message to all those bullies, okay, because the others and the mirror, and now we have don't tolerate less than you deserve, is saying do not tolerate the bullies. And I feel like you've learnt from this. You've learnt from, you know, now growing out of childhood into adulthood, you've understood that you don't have to take this. Do not tolerate other people's nasty words, you know, cruel intentions towards you. because you know you deserve better. So that is a strong message that I've received for you, group number 3. So this was the reading I received for you on, you know, how your childhood has affected you and what happened in your childhood. So please let me know down below in the comments if any of this resonated. I would love to know if I've picked up on any collective energy here. So thank you so much for watching. Yep, like, comment, subscribe, and I'm sending you so much love and light.